Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki the Rose, and in case you missed it, I did a gigantic blush haul just recently on my channel. I went to Sephora and I purchased every single formula that they carry. So I thought it'd be fun to recap what became my actual favorites from that haul. And also it's been highly requested, so I wanted to get this to you all as quick as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into what ended up being my favorites. Now, just like in the other video, I'm gonna start with my least expensive favorites to my most expensive. And for the least expensive, this one is $18. It's from the brand LYS, which stands for Love Yourself. It's a newer brand, it's more of an indie brand. I'm so happy that Sephora carries them. They have some great quality products, and this blush, honestly, is just an incredible value. It's $18, you get a ton of product. You get a good amount of cream blush, and I just have zero complaints about this blush. So when I really think about it, this just had to be in my favorites because it's also a blush that I kept on like grabbing for to use on myself since I filmed that big blush video. And that's something that I took into consideration when making this list was which blushes out of all of the 55 blushes that I tried on my face in that day, which ones have I wanted to actually grab the most? This is one of them, and it's the most cost effective out of all of these. It's such a deal for 18 bucks. So just a couple of notes about this blush. My thoughts have not changed since that video. If anything, I just kind of fell in love with it even more. It's a satin to matte finish, which I really appreciate for a cream. It's kind of hard to find a good formula satin to matte finish when you're in terms of using a cream product. Sometimes they can go on patchy and the color payoff can be really inconsistent because they're meant to dry down to more of a powdery finish or like a semi-powdery finish. So that's a problem that you can encounter when applying a cream blush that does have more of a dry down to it, like this one. This one does not have that problem at all. There's zero patchiness. It blends on super smooth. Color payoff is amazing, and it's just a great value. So if you're looking for a great value, 18 bucks, this is just one of my favorites. Like, amazing, amazing formula. Now I'm only gonna share 10 of my favorites from the 55 that I tried on, and that doesn't mean that the other ones I don't like. I love at least 20 more blushes that I used in that blush video. So don't think that just because it's not included in this list doesn't mean that I don't like it anymore or that I didn't like it. There's tons that I had to exclude. I just want to keep it to like a maximum of 10. That felt right. So the next one on my list is from rarebeauty. It's $23. You're not going to be surprised to see this. I'm a huge fan of this formula. I use it both in my professional makeup kit and of course on myself. This shade in particular is Encourage. It's just a beautiful mauve tone. But color aside, like I'm not really going to talk about colors that much, but formula-wise, this is just amazing. It's like one of the best, if not the best, liquid blush I've ever tried. For not being a pro brand, this formula is pro quality. Like I can use it in my kit professionally. It's super long lasting. So when you put it on, it's not going to just fade and wear off throughout the day. And a lot of liquid formulas are like that. They're just not long lasting, at least not the ones I have tried in the past. They are a little bit hard to use, just like I mentioned in the original blush video, but once you get past like the learning curve of what the best way to apply it is, you're gonna fall in love with this blush. And it's been one of my favorites for a long time, and of course it's gonna be in my top 10. Now this next one is the newest formula from danessamyricks. I actually took this with me on a 2-week-long work trip. I wore it almost every single day. And to me, that says a lot. I have a lot of blushes, obviously, especially since filming that video. And this is one of those blushes that I want to grab almost every single day. There's so many reasons why I like this. I think the formula itself is just really impressive. It's really unique. And that's hard to say nowadays because there's so many cream blushes. Like the market is so oversaturated with cream blushes, in my opinion. And who would have thought that there could be something new that could come out? But kudos to danessamyricks. She has some really innovative formulas. She's a pro makeup artist. So I really, to be quite honest, I kind of expect nothing less from her. If I'm being really real, this is such a great pro quality blush. It's definitely something that I'm going to pick up more colors. This sticks to your skin instantly. It is so smooth and easy to blend onto your skin. There's no patchiness, which again, you know, with blushes, a lot of blushes on the market go on patchy or they blend out patchy. This lays on top of your skin with such a smooth finish. It really does have a blurring effect. And the finish of it overall is like a soft, creamy airbrushed finish, if that makes sense. It really is unique. Like it goes on creamy, but it does have a dry down to it. So it does dry down to more of like a satin, semi-matte finish. So if you're looking for something like that, you have to try this. I also think this is just overall a great formula if you have oily skin because it's going to stick to your skin. It's not going to like slip and slide throughout the day as you get more and more oily. But at the same time, I do recommend this for like more mature skin types because it has a beautiful smoothing effect to it. So just overall, there's so many great qualities about this blush, and it's in my top 10 for a reason. If you haven't tried it, this one is just gorgeous. This next one is $26, and it was the Soft Pop Powder Blush from Makeup by Mario. To be honest, you know, I love so many of Makeup by Mario's products. And again, there's a reason why he's a pro makeup artist. I can relate. I appreciate the thought and the care and like the consideration that goes into any makeup brand that is created by a makeup artist. Like, it has my heart, you know? So when I picked this up, to be quite honest, I thought, okay, it's a powder blush. I never really thought like I had to go pick these up from Makeup by Mario just because it's a powder blush and like you know, how great could it be, you know? But I will say this has been one of my favorites and I can't stop grabbing it. Again, it's like one of those blushes that after I used it, I kept wanting to grab it and wear it on, you know, for like my makeup looks. It is a powder blush, but there's dimension to it. It's not flat, it is soft, and it's a buildable powder blush, which I also really appreciate and can be really easy to use because of that. So, you know, in terms of like if you're a newbie and you're just starting out with powder blush and you want something that's like easy to apply where it's not gonna be like, this is basically goof proof is what I'm trying to say. It's layerable and it's buildable. So if you want to be more natural and soft, you can just do a little soft wash, like one coat all over. But if you want to build up the color payoff and the intensity, you can easily layer this without it looking heavy or cakey. Now for being a powder blush, of course, I love it for oily skin. I'm an oily skin girl. I just have oily skin in general. But I do think that for dry skin types, this would be a really good formula for dry skin types if you're looking for a good powder blush formula that's not going to look dry and crusty on your dry skin, like for lack of a better way to put it. This is going to have a nice luminous finish to it and it's going to have some dimension. But overall, 26 bucks, it's just a great powder formula. Now this next one, I'm actually really surprised that it's in my list of top 10. I didn't think that was going to happen. When I picked it up, I was like, okay, it's really viral. It's like super popular. Everyone's talking about it. It's pretty, but it's like kind of gimmicky and you're really just gonna pay for the packaging. Now, I do still stand by you're paying a lot for the packaging because this is not cheap packaging. Like this is very expensive. Like I said in the first video, like very reminiscent of Polly Pockets from like the 90s. Now the formula inside though, I thought it was going to be just kind of like whatever, just being honest, you know, if you watch that video, you know exactly why I said that and stuff, and you know like my thoughts behind that. This video is all about honesty, and this blush I have gravitated towards and I have reached for so many times because it's beautiful. Color aside, the color is beautiful. I love this color so much for a pink, but the formula is just, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this formula. It is a perfect powder blush. It does have a little hint of luminosity to it, which I really like. And it is scented, so just an FYI, if you know me, I like some fragrance in my makeup on occasion, depending on the product. For a blush, I don't mind it. I think it smells really nice. But yeah, this is definitely a favorite, and I'm surprised at how much I want to use this. I just thought it was gonna be gimmicky, to be honest, but this is definitely a favorite. Now this next one is $32, so we're now in the $30 range. This one's from Rose Inc. I actually was surprised this ended up in my top 10 too, to be quite honest. I was never really blown away by the products that Rose Inc. launched. But once I got the cream blush in my hands and I tried it out, and you saw my reaction in that video, I loved it right away. I instantly loved it, pretty much. This also has been one of those blushes that I can't stop grabbing, and I'm actually gonna pick up some of the refills and just create like an entire palette of cream blushes for my makeup kit. Things I love about this blush are the fact that the packaging is really sleek. It's sleek, it's simple, it's easy to clean, it's easy to take with you. It's not like bulky and just over the top, which sometimes that could be great, but there's also some times where I really appreciate things like that. Another note that I love about this blush is it's refillable, and it's refillable in like the easiest way. You can literally just pull it out. It's so quick, so easy. And another reason why I love this blush too, formula aside, the packaging is great, like I said, and it's also a refillable blush. So if I find a cream blush that I love, like formula wise and shade wise, I go through it really quickly. I have a feeling I'm gonna go through this really quickly, and it's gonna be nice to just pick up the refill and not have to get another actual package, like case that it goes into. Now, what I really liked about this formula wise is it really melted into my skin easily. I felt like I didn't have to like buff and maneuver it and like work it into my skin. It was a really easy application. It blended on super quick. The pigment was amazing. So the color payoff, gorgeous. Now, another reason why this formula stood out to me out of all the cream blushes that are on the market and that I tried in that video is with a lot of cream blushes, sometimes they can magnify texture in your skin, larger pores. They can bring that out. And this one does not do that. This gives a beautiful glow to your skin, but it also gives a smooth finish, which is really difficult to do with a cream product. Usually that over the top glow, like I said, enhances skin texture and it could magnify things like that, like skin issues. This one doesn't. This one gives you like a beautiful, smooth, almost like an airbrush quality to your skin. Again, really easy to blend on. I don't think this is like the most amazing formula for an oily skin person. So if you have really oily skin, I would stick to the other ones I mentioned earlier. They're lay more matte on your skin. But for dry skin or mature skin, I think this is a great, great cream blush. So had to include this. Was shocked at how much I love this cream blush. Now this next one is from patrickta. If you know me, you know I love this formula. It's $36. You get basically 2-in-1 with this. It's the double take cream and powder blush. So it is what it says. You get a cream on the top and a powder on the bottom. I've been a fan of this formula since it came out a couple of years ago at this point. This shade in particular is She's So LA, and this has my heart. Like this shade is just one of my all-time favorites. I probably go through one of these once a year in my professional makeup kit, so I always have it stocked up because it's just one of my go-tos for a natural, neutral blush that goes with like any eye makeup or any lip colors. But that aside, color aside, both formulas are very unique and just great quality. Like again, coming from a pro makeup artist, patrickta is a makeup artist that started this brand. And of course I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all the hard work that's been put into this brand. I think there's just some really amazing formulas and really great quality formulas as well. So even though I've been using this for years, I had to include it in my top 10, even though it's not a surprise. I'm sure you all knew that it would probably be in this top 10. So it's less exciting, I'm sure, but it just felt weird not to include this. This is just one of my go-tos and it has been for years. Okay, this next one, talk about value. I know this one is $38, but you get so much for your money. This is the Onesizebeauty Cheek Clapper. It's the 3D Blush Trio. So you get 3 different finishes all in one palette, which is genius. I've never seen that done before. Like maybe I forgot. I feel like it does not exist in this day and age. Like I know patrickta has like the double, but then Patrick Star, you know, kind of outdid what patrickta did. And now they have 3 formulas in one for $38. The reason why I had to include this also is because all 3 of these formulas are great. There's not one filler in this. These are all 3 extremely richly pigmented, like very, very richly pigmented, especially this cream one. Oh my God. It's like stage makeup pigmented. I was shocked and I wasn't prepared for it. If you watch the blush video, when I try it on, I applied way too much. I was not expecting the color payoff to be that intense. So with that said, this cream blush, it packs a punch. You need a tiny little dot and then you're done. That's it. All 3 are very long lasting as well. I've tested all 3 out individually too. In that video, I layered all 3 together to see how they would melt together and like how they'd play together basically. But in my real life, I have used this so many times and I've used all 3 individually and they're all 3 beautiful. So highly recommend the Cheek Clapper from Onesizebeauty. It's been a favorite. The colors are gorgeous too and they blend on very, very well. Last 2 in my top 10 of my favorites from the blush haul. These are the most expensive ones, and that doesn't mean they're the best. All these have been amazing, but these are the more expensive ones. The next one I have to show you is $45. It's from Hourglass. Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush. I have the shade Euphoric Fusion, and I think I'm gonna pick up a couple more because these work so well in multiple ways. You could either use them as a blush alone, or you use them as a blush topper. Now, I recently put this in my professional makeup kit, so it's not mine anymore, which is kind of sad. I'll probably pick up another couple like in different shades for use on myself, but this one I had to put in my pro kit, and that actually says so much. When I put a product in my professional makeup kit, that means it's like good for everyone, or I see it being good for everyone, or you know, most people, like majority people that I'm going to work on. And that means the quality is great, the color payoff is great. That means it's just a perfect formula that's going to be easy to use on whoever sits in my makeup chair. So that says a lot, basically. It's $45. It's very pricey. Does it need to be $45? Absolutely not. You're paying for the fact that you're buying an Hourglass Cosmetics product. They have very expensive makeup. Like, it's luxury makeup. It's not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. And it's actually probably one of the reasons why I wanted to put this in my makeup kit. If you know me, I like to use a lot, like majority high-end makeup on my clients. Now, a couple notes about this formula. It's sheer but buildable. Like, you can really, really build it up. And also, in case you're wondering, I actually have this on right now, and I used it as a cheek topper. So like I mentioned earlier, you can either use it by itself or you can use it to top more matte blushes or to top cream blushes to give it a more of a even more luminous finish and to kind of lock it in. So what I have on today is actually the danessamyricks Yummy Skin, and I topped it with the Hourglass. So in case you're wondering, I have these two on right now. Now the other reason why it's in my top 10 is because of the finish. This has a luminous, like a true lit from within luminous finish to it with color deposit inside as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get some color payoff, but you also get this luminous, soft focus finish that really is unique. Like a lot of brands I know are copying Hourglass and like this formula in particular, but I will say there's nothing like this finish. I know it's 45 bucks, but the finish alone is worth it to me. Definitely up there in price, but definitely worth it. The last blush in my top 10 from all the blushes that I tried in my huge blush haul video is one that I've been using for years now. It's the Westman Atelier Cream Blush. I had to put this in my list because this is a cream blush that I use all the time professionally. Like this is a staple in my professional makeup kit, literally a staple. But it's also one that I use on myself in my day-to-day life, and it's always one that I want to grab. Like there's never really a day that I'm not in the mood to wear this formula blush. One of my favorite shades is Petal. I love that shade Petal, but I have 4 other shades in my professional makeup kit that I use all the time, and they're a great formula. They're incredibly expensive. They're $49. In terms of like a cream blush, there's not one complaint I have about this formula, not one. The formula works amazing on everyone. Oily, combo, dry, mature, young, it doesn't matter who you are, you can wear this formula. It's gonna be a great, great formula. It's long lasting, does not go on patchy, blends out super easy. Like everything about this blush is a win, including the packaging. I love the packaging too. It's a little heavy in my makeup kit, I'm not gonna lie, but I love the packaging. So this is my last one. Some of these were brand new to me that I'd never tried before, and I thought that was really fun. So I found some new favorites, which is great. And then some were old faithfuls that I have known and loved for years now. Let me know in the comments what your favorite blush was from that video. It could be a cream, a powder, give me both. Whatever one stood out to you the most, I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you missed the video that I'm talking about, you can catch it right here. It's a little long, but there's tons of value in it, and you can also click on the chapters. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Either way, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.